Space is one of me and my family's favorite games, so inevitably we're really excited to check out the expansion. Did it live up to our hype? Let's talk about it. What does that even mean, Bowers Game?
Hi there, YouTube.
We're back again today for another game review, another tag team review. And I'm very excited to be checking out Space, the Emergence of Shy Pluto. This is for 2 to 5 players, ages 14 plus, take about 60 minutes to play. And this is the expansion to the immensely popular Space, the first expansion. So, first thing I want to mention is that there is kind of a story going on in here, so there will be full spoilers about exactly what's in the gameplay. But honestly, I don't feel like the story's... It's not really going to be that spoiled. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, it's just adding cards.
For the most part. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down all the different things new into the game and then give our thoughts on them one by one, and then in the end we'll wrap up the review. So you're going to get this stack of tarot-sized cards right here that are going to kind of tell you a story. So you're out in Deep Nova and stuff starts happening and it'll say, hey, add these cards into the game. So first we'll start talking about these cards, the 1 through 7 cards, and these are some pretty interesting cards. There's like a card that if you get charges on it, then you'll be able to get a charge anywhere else. So it makes those really difficult to get cards like the 12 you win or some of the 11s much more manageable. There's these two right here, which are really fascinating, which actually give you the blue rewards of your sectors 1 through 6. So these cards really encourage you to strengthen your 1 through 6 pretty strongly. This one right here is a weird one where it's just like, it's an 8, and if you get a regular 8, you get $2, which isn't great. But if you get exactly 4s, then you'll get $8. And then this one here, which is super powerful, is going to give you double arrows. So not just the one to your left, but also the one next to your left. So these are just some extra added cards to the game. And what'd you think about those cards, Luke?
I love them.
Love them? Sean?
I like them. They were pretty fun.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I feel like these are cards you're going to immediately throw in your game and you're never going to take out. So, solid start with the expansion. You continue going further into the story, and they add a couple more cards. Now, they add these oh-so-delicious cards right here, which are upward arrows, but then when you flip the card over, they're now downward arrows pointing to your left or to your right. So, the arrows, if you're familiar with Space, immensely powerful, and these just add more power to it. What do you guys think about the arrows?
I like them.
Yeah. Here's the one thing I will say about these. I feel like these are going to speed up a lot of games because they allow you to get those awesome combinations. Like, for instance, when I try and go for 11s and 12s, these drastically help you because if you're really bumping up your 11 spot and you happen to get the 10 arrow, it's very powerful cards. But we're all in agreement. We still like those. Mm-hmm. Continuing on, we get a little bit more of a story, and we get these cards right here, which will allow you to have your own personal die roll. So it comes with these white dice, which I don't have in front of me. They're these clear, sparkly white dice. And pretty much when you get enough charges on here, you can roll the dice, and that dice is only for you. Now, there's some restrictions, like you can't take cards from the Biro and some other stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But what'd you think about these cards?
I love them. I like them.
Yeah, same thing. I'm in agreement. Once again, it feels like all the cards in this, a lot of the cards in this, just make it so you can complete these wild and crazy combos. You can make them a little bit easier, which I think is great. But we're going to get to a point, well, we'll get there. So then we finally get to the main bit of the game, which is like the story. So there's 2 modules that you're going to have, and these come in their own special mystery boxes that you get to open. So module 1 is called a World Eater, and it introduces these cards right here and some new tokens. And essentially what happens is when you get enough cubes on this, you take the cubes off and you get one of these tokens, and then these tokens can be used against the World Eater, because how it works is there's a black die that you're going to get, and 1 or 2 out of every 6 times you're going to get this little symbol, which means that the World Eater is going to attack. And then Sean's got him. You're going to roll, I think it's like 6 of these red dice right here. And they only have symbology on one of the sides. But those, so this one shows like 4 victory points. It might show an income. It might show a whole bunch of different things on these. But essentially how it works is either the World Eater is going to penalize you and everyone at the table is going to lose, 4 victory points and an income. Mm-hmm. Or if you're willing to spend one of your tokens to protect yourself, then you will gain that instead. So it could be a big swing. So let's just say it says let's say $6. You get 4 and $2. That means if you're willing to give up a token, you're going to gain $6. But if you're not, you're going to lose a $6. And that's a 12-point swing. That's a level 3 card. That's a huge difference. So starting off with the World Eater, the big box, or the mystery box, what do you think about the World Eater module? Because this is a module. You probably won't play with this every time, I don't think.
I loved it.
You love this one.
It was fun, but I like the other module better.
We're going to get into the other module a little bit better a little bit more as well. So I will say, I like Module 2 a little bit better on this one, but honestly, both of the modules, I'm not the hugest fan of. And there's a big reason why, which I'll explain when we talk about Module 2. So I'm going to put a cork in that one, and let's talk about Module 2, which introduces this new card right over here, which I don't remember. It's a Biro. Where is that card? So essentially how it works is there's going to be a Biro out here. I lost the card. Oh, well. There's a Biro, and what you do is you spend these this currency right here, and then on each of the Biros, you're going to take the dice. Yes, there's these dice here. Remember, we talked about these dice a little bit earlier, but you're essentially buying them. And these get some pretty swingy stuff here, like $6 in income. There was one that had 3 income on it, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. You know, private rerolls, but essentially you're allowed to now purchase these on your turn, assuming you're going for these. So what did you think about Module 2?
I really liked it.
Me too.
So I enjoy it, and if they really wanted to play it, I would play with it. But this is the one where I was like, this is really swingy. Because how this works is, let me rephrase this, you don't actually gain that. I actually made that up. I just screwed up there. What you do is you purchase the die, and then you get to roll the die every single time it's someone's turn to roll, even if it's not your turn. Now, these rules are slightly different, 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 players, but the bottom line is, nearly every turn, you're now going to be rolling this die, and if you happen to purchase more of these die, then you're going to, every single turn, have an opportunity to gain these. And here's my issue with this. I feel like it makes a game that's already swingy. And I love Space Base. It's one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. But it makes it very swingy. Do you know what swingy means?
Like, one person's in the lead, then nope, the other person is.
Yeah, so I'll give you an example. Space Base, for instance. If you really focused on your 11s, you might be doing really crappy. You might be just doing crummy. But then if 3 11s come up in 4 rolls, your game has completely changed. Mm-hmm. These magnify that, I do believe. Like, this one's 2 income. Like, 2 income. Like, imagine if you got that twice in a row.
This is 4 points.
Like, they're really big swings. But once again, I think they're fun. I like them. But what are you guys' thoughts on the second module?
I really like it.
Really like it? You really like the swinginess? And that does not surprise me, because you know what? Kids generally tend to enjoy those mechanisms a lot more. You look at a game like Uno, a draw 4 card. You know, that could be a really big play right there. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. And at the end of the day, I don't dislike the module. It's just, I'd rather not play with it. So that's all that you're going to get in the expansion. What were your thoughts on the expansion? Luke, you want to go first? I know I've been doing most of the talking. That's because I just wanted to explain everything. But now, whatever you want to say about the expansion, let it out.
So, I think this is really cool because you could lose something and then you could gain it more. You could gain it, so you could lose some. You could lose this, and then you could gain it when you roll this.
You like those tokens and how you
Yeah,
can.
this is a this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also, that I like how they didn't make it so there's like 4 cards for the expansion, 4 cards, because there's 3 on. So 1, and then there's 2, and then there's 3. I'm glad that there isn't a 4 on the back of.
Oh, you're glad that they didn't just go with the 4th row?
Yeah, so we didn't have to place more in and make it up to like 6.
I imagine those cards would be even more powerful,
Oh
too.
my gosh,
Yeah.
I don't want to imagine.
So you
these.
like the direction they took in the expansion?
Yes.
Here's my big question. Do you think this is an expansion that you must own if you have Space Base?
Yes.
Okay, must own.
I really liked the concept of the red and pink dice and these things. I also like just the concept of the getting an extra die roll. This, but it seems like if someone gets snake eyes 2 times in a row, and you have like the 1 version of this, then that's immediately 2 extra rolls, which I think is too powerful. I think that they should like only have 2 of these slots, just so someone couldn't have their own roll twice in a row, because that could completely change the game.
We could. I mean, you roll it twice in a row and you get a whole boatload of money. It could be a big deal.
Yep, and
Let's
let's see. I also liked this. This card,
So that card is the one where if you roll an 8, you get $2. But if they roll 4 and 4, so like a 4, 4, 8, you get $8. And then when you flip it over, it's kind of the same way.
This card, I like the idea of it. It's just a 4, 4 isn't very easy to get.
It's not, but it is a $2 card, so it's super cheap.
Yeah.
One card we didn't mention that I actually really like, and I thought it was pretty intriguing, is this one right here.
I like that.
Yeah, so this one lets you exchange a card with any card to your sector. So you would put this in your 8 plus. And that's another concept they add here, is that there's some cards that will say 1 plus, 8 plus, and you can kind of decide where they go in there. I really like those.
If you get a 1 plus card, then you can put it in any slot.
Yeah, and that's cool because then you can really push what to the top you want. But, back to the question. Wait, Luke, you had something to say real quick?
Yeah, also, imagine if you bought... Can you give me that card, Sean?
This one? This one?
No, this one. Imagine if you bought...
That's the one where you get more rolls.
Yeah, imagine if you bought, 15 of these.
There's not 15.
Well,
There's not, but if you got a bunch, if you got a couple of them,
yeah.
you could. And if you did that, and that's one thing I like. I crushed. So must-own. Do you think this is a must-own?
Yes.
I am in agreement. I'm a space-based connoisseur. Well, I don't feel like on a particular game night we're ever going to play with those modules, just being quite frank, unless someone specifically wants to do it. The additional cards to the game, I think, just add so many extra different strategies and paths to victory. So, for instance, I ended up getting both the cards that said you can gain the blue reward. It's either 2 or 3 of the blue rewards in your sectors 1 through 6, and then I just focused on making sure that I had a really awesome 1 through 6 card in there, and I hit it like 2 or 3 times. I really was crushing it. Mm-hmm. And there's just lots of different paths to victory, and overall, must-own expansion. Yes, I would say so. If you love space, you might not play with the modules, but the added additional cards are still fun. And playing through the like I said, I don't think people are going to hate the modules. I just think that I actually like regular space a little bit better.
Yeah. The World Eater thing was a little stressful. We might lose if we don't get this thing.
Well, there you go. That is Space Base, The Emergence of Shy Pluto. Looks like it might become TV. Sure, check out that Amazon link down below. Also, in the comments below, let me know what game would you like an expansion for. Boom. Game that doesn't have an expansion. What game do you want an expansion for?
Johnny Skull's?
Johnny Skull's Pirate Cove. In case you're not familiar with Johnny Skull's Pirate Cove, that's a game where you turn off the lights and then Johnny Skull shoots these laser ghosts over the wall, and you have to shoot them with this. There's like a little gun flashlight
thing.
So you want more stuff to shoot? More guns?
No, I want
More ghosts?
more ghosts, and there should be a thing where it's target practice, but it's where they're moving, but they're not. But they're moving, but they're not attacking you.
Oh, just so you can a different
Just
mode.
Just bam.
Yeah,
So you
or
bam.
don't you don't have to reload like you do.
Okay, some different okay.
Splendor.
That actually has an expansion.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, it has four modules. No cards that you add, but there's 4 modules. The modules are all pretty good.
Oh.
What's your second choice? We actually own it too. We tried sometime.
I liked the Problem Picnic game.
That one also has some expansion content, but I don't have it. I don't believe. But
Wait.
for me, so we can get this outro done with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. Man, most games get expansions now that I'm really looking out here. I want Rampage. Or Terran Meeple City, they had to change the name of it. I want Rampage. They had this idea, I'm pretty sure, to add more boards to it, because the board... So, you guys haven't played that game. That's such a cool game where monsters are smashing the city, but I want a board expansion. So let me know in the comments below.
I know.
What's your game?
I would like,
Dominion.
I think it's got 6
Say your saying.
expansions. I want, what do you call it? Castle Panic Jr., an expansion.
Yeah, that's a great one. That one needs an
I
expansion.
have one more.
Oh, what is it?
I would like one of the Bluey games to have the expansion.
Preferably the scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
The scavenger hunt game?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Whole list of them. Let me know in the comments below which ones you wanted. Always, thanks for your time, YouTube. You gonna hit the red button? Thanks. I normally don't get to be on this.
This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.